Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of Linux for absolutely beginners. My name is Tia from DevOps Easy Learning, and today we'll be going through RM and also RM option RF and echo command in Linux, right? What is the purpose of the RM command? The RM command is used to delete files and directory in Linux, right? Please, when you want to use the RM command, especially in the real world, make sure that you know exactly what you are doing, right? Because in Linux, there is no trash can, which means if you go ahead and delete something through the command line, you cannot get it back. Even in Windows, if you delete something using your mouse, you right click and you say delete, it will take it and go and put that in the trash can, and you can always restore that. Please be mindful that in Linux, in any operating system, if you delete something through the command line, you cannot get it back anymore. It is all gone, right? I mean, before you use the RM command with some option that I'm going to teach you here, please be very, very careful. Be sure that it is exactly what you want to do, especially when you are using this star here to delete stuff. Be very, very, very careful, especially like RF. RM have an RF and all star. Before you type this command, think carefully. Make sure that it is exactly what you want to do before you can type that. Yeah, I'll use that in the real world. I use this everywhere, but before I use it, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Because if you don't know exactly what you are going to do, you can wipe out the entire operating system just by using the RM command, right? It is a very, very dangerous command. How do we use RM? We say RM stand for remove. And what are we removing? We're removing stuff like files and directories, right? When you just want to delete a file, you can use the RM command and you put the file name. Now, when you want to remove a directory, use the RM command, have an R. R, first of all, stand for recursive. What does recursive mean? Recursive mean, hey, go in go in the parent. Because when you have a directory, you have a parent directory, and that parent directory has subdirectories, right? You might have a basket. Within the basket, you put some candy in there, you put some fruit. Now, the basket is called the parent directory in Linux, and all the candy that you put in, those are called subdirectories, right? And when you want to delete, you make sure that you delete all the candy and also all the fruit that you put inside the basket before you delete the basket. And that is what -r mean in Linux. It stands for recursive. And another one here is called F. F here just basically mean force, right? Because sometimes you might try to delete a file and then you would complain that, hey, that file is open, it is being used, or the directory, somebody is writing inside the directory, stuff like that, this is being used. And when you use -force, it will go ahead and force and delete that the file or a directory, right? What is the echo command? Echo command is just used in Linux to print something written on your screen, like your terminal. Let's say you just say echo and you write some text, you go ahead and print it. Or you can say echo, you call either an environment variable, or you can basically print a variable that you store within your current shell, and it will go ahead and show you that. What are some options of the RM command? We have the RM-RF, right? That I just explained. If you want to delete a directory, you can go ahead and use RM-RF, which stands for recursive and force. And RM have an RF, and we put a star. It means delete everything within the current working directory. That means where I am right now, remove everything there. Be very, very careful with this. RM have an RF. I said star.sh, delete everything that ends with .sh where I am right now. And here is delete everything that ends with .txt within my current working directory. And here delete everything that ends with A within my current working directory, and here delete everything that starts with A within my current working directory, right? Let me see if we still have something here that needs to be explained. That's it. Now, let us go ahead here and do some hands-on here. I am going to, before you move on, you should have access to a Linux server to do the hands-on. Let me go ahead here and log in into one of our Linux server. Just start typing SSH. I'm going to use server 4, and I will punch my password here. Sorry, it's going to log me in here, and we'll go ahead and do some hands-on. Here, I have a couple of files here and directory. Let me go ahead and create a directory here with mkdir, and I'm going to call that rm command. Mkdir, and I will say rm, and I will cd into rm command, and there is nothing in there. Let me go ahead here and kind of touch. I'll go ahead and touch, and I'm going to create a bunch of files, right? Couple of files here, and I will use this syntax 1.50 and close this, and I'm going to call those file.sh file. Now, if you hit enter and tab ls, as you guys can see, we have 50 files here that basically end with .sh. That means if you want to delete all these files here, let me also create others that will end with .txt. With .txt, create another one that will basically end with .yaml, with .yaml. Now, if you tap L, as you guys can see here, we have a couple of them. Let's say I want you to go in here and delete all the files that end with .sh. If you don't know how to match and delete, that will be tough, right? If I want you to delete all the files that end with .yaml here, and if you don't know how to match and delete, that will be really, really tough. Let us go ahead and match and delete. We can just use the rm command, and I'll go ahead here and say, okay, I want to delete, because these are files, but I usually always use the -rf if I want to delete a file or a directory. Let me go ahead here and say star anything that end with .sh, and here let us see. As you guys can see, sh disappear, right? Let us see, we want anything that ends with .txt. If you hit enter here, as you guys can see, txt had disappeared. If you see anything that end with YAML and tab ls, as you guys can see, this directory is empty. Let me go ahead and simulate another one again. I'm going to create 50 and another 50 here with YAML and another one with sh. Now we have everything back again, right? Now, let's say I use the rm, and I say have an rf and say star. Star mean what? Before, let me cancel that pwd. It mean delete everything that I have in rm directory. And if you go ahead here and tab this, if you go ahead here and tab the rm have an rf and I put star, everything is gone. Look, ls rm have an rf, and I'll go ahead and say star. And if you hit enter here, look, oh, oops, look, everything is gone, right? How can we delete directories also? Let's say I say rm mkdir, and I'm going to create multiple directories, and I'm going to call one dot, for instance, and I'll say 50, and that's it. That means the first one will call 1, another one will call 2, another one will call, it will be 3. If you say ls-l, you guys will see that all these are directories, one, and it just call 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, if you want to delete one directory here, if you just say rm, and I say I want to delete a directory called 1, as you guys can see, I will not be able to delete a directory just by using rm. You need to use -rf. Now I'll say rm-rf, and I want to delete a directory 1. 1 is gone, right? And if I want to delete everything, like I can just say rm-rf, rm-rf, and I want to clean up everything here, and everything is all gone. Same thing, you say touch when you have a file. And let's say you call a file tier.txt, and you hit enter, and also you say mkdir, and you call this one manager, which is going to be a directory. That means here you have tier.txt and you have manager.txt. What happens is that if you use the rm command and trying to delete manager.txt, it is not going to delete that, right? You need to go ahead and make sure that you use -r here to delete that -r, which means recursive, and it will go ahead and delete that. Now, if you just want to delete test.txt, you just use the rm command. You don't need to, well, it's not mandatory here that you should put -r, right? But it doesn't hurt anything if you put -r. It will still go ahead and delete that. And that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, please let me know in the comment below. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and do so. Thank you. Bye-bye.